Hi, I'm Srini Koushik. I'm the CIO and CTO for Magellan Health. We are a $7 billion Scottsdale, Arizona-based healthcare company. We believe in leading humanity to healthy, vibrant lives. And that basically means we are in markets where we're serving those populations that need it the most. If you know the healthcare industry well, most of our competitors in this space are at least 10, 20, 30 times our size. Our members and our customers and the people that we serve expect the same level of services that they expect from the larger company, but they expect us to do it even though we're much smaller. So the challenge for me walking in 4 years ago was about how do we deliver all of these capabilities and more, but do it in a much more efficient way. And if we can deliver those capabilities at a much lower cost and a much better value proposition, we believe that we could kind of dance with the elephants. We can compete with these guys. So the question of how do you kind of deliver those same capabilities by not spending that much, that was a very interesting challenge to me, and that's the biggest reason that brought me here. So if I look at our 4-year journey with SnapLogic so far, the first thing we wanted to do was to encapsulate those legacy technologies and the knowledge that's there and expose it so that more modern technology, whether it's our web-based solutions or our mobile applications that we've released, or we've now gotten to the point where a lot of these core functions that are still sitting on those legacy technologies are being used with the help of SnapLogic to integrate with brand new solutions we're rolling out. If you think about these solutions as concentric circles, and we started at the center with expanding the core, you go one level outwards. In any healthcare company, we trade interface files with all of our customers, and we got hundreds of customers, and we get 5 to 6 files from them every day. And our ability to integrate with that, adapt to changes, all of those things is critical to our operational efficiency as a healthcare company. So we started to use SnapLogic for a lot of these B2B interfaces, right, between us and our customers, and how you exchange these files, how do you maintain the integrity and others. So as I pointed out earlier, we build those solutions that give us the competitive differentiation, and we buy those things that are not core to our business. And so if you look at our environment today at Magellan, we use Workday for HR, talent management, and other functions. We use ServiceNow to do IT service management. We use Okta for our single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. It almost looks like most of the best-of-breed SaaS solutions you would have heard of, you can find it within Magellan. So that's good from the fact that it gives our business and functional partners the ability to implement business functions very quickly. But now when they have to kind of talk to each other, that becomes a challenge. And I think SnapLogic with the Snap Packs and others that come in, it really makes it so much more easier for us to kind of tie things across. And here's a perfect example, right? If you apply for a job within Magellan, it's going to go into Workday when you're a prospect, and you're going to go through the hiring process. And the minute you are hired, the switch flips to you going from a prospect to an employee. It triggers a lot of things. It triggers, you've got to get a user ID password done through Okta. You've got to kind of kick off the procurement of your laptop and everything else through ServiceNow. There's about 15 to 20 different actions that get kicked off once that flag switches. And that goes across multiple SaaS solutions. And we love that environment primarily because, unlike most other IT organizations, I tend to say, if it's going to get the job done for the business, they should go with that solution. And our job is to make sure that the integration with the rest of the stuff happens very seamlessly, right? And SnapLogic allows us to do that faster, better, and quicker, right? And you can't ask for anything more. Fourth one we went on to is automation. Because once you start getting past the integration layer where you've connected these systems, now you start going up the food chain and start saying, are there tasks that we can string together in terms of an automated process that allows me to go from point A to point B? And we've used SnapLogic for that. A really good example of that within Magellan is our medical pharmacy business. Customer signs, they want us to kind of have them up and running very, very quickly. When they have changes within a matter of a week or so, we got to get these changes validated, tested, put into production. We kind of looked at our entire process and said the spreadsheet, somebody takes it, creates requirements, we write some code, we kind of implement the code, test it. And that whole process was taking something more than a week, something substantially more than a week. And we rethought that process and said, can we actually build that as an automated pipeline where somebody comes in and when you work with the customer, you create one of these grids in a spreadsheet and you feed the grid to this pipeline, and it automatically takes it through all of those validation processes and updates our database so that there's really no coding, no IT involvement in that whole process. And SnapLogic I don't think we even thought about a second solution. We just said the workflow and how we wanted to implement it was going to be done on Snap. As I look into 2020 and beyond, I think the huge opportunity for us at Magellan and many other healthcare companies is how do you actually take advantage of the massive amounts of data that we collect. So at Magellan, what we've started to do is to get a lot of this data into a very scalable infrastructure, a cloud-based infrastructure. SnapLogic has helped us there as well because we're taking a lot of this data and using SnapLogic Extreme to build pipelines that allow us to shift massive amounts of data when needed, but also do point-of-time exchange of information in a very, very quick and timely manner. After 4 years in our environment, I can say that SnapLogic has helped us in many ways. Number one, getting my workforce into today's modern world of technologies was important, and taking someone and getting them into the cloud world is critical because I don't believe we can scale without scaling our people. Right? The hundreds of snaps that they make available as part of the product was a pretty important component because we've brought in a lot of SaaS solutions, and having SnapLogic made integrating these SaaS platforms much more easier. One of the other reasons is it's a tool that is very easy to learn, right? And I wouldn't underplay the importance of the ease of learning the tool, right? I personally, I have and always will consider myself a technologist, but I'm 10 years removed from writing code. I've built SnapLogic pipelines. I've sat in this room here writing pipelines, and if I can do it 10 years removed from coding, any of my developers, they can pick it up. So to me, that ease of learning that tool and getting you seamlessly into the cloud world, you don't want to underplay that. The second advantage I'd say is like today we have more of citizen integration happening. So like in the past, integration was just done by a handful of expert EAI or ETL developers. Now, as I mentioned, I've got about 40 plus people building these pipelines on a daily basis. We bring in a new solution. The next day I'm checking and these guys have created 2 new pipelines to get into that solution. But once again, getting more of my IT workforce engaged in this process has been a big thing because it again provides scale. Third one is that these pipelines are getting stood up in record amounts of time. These are not things that take months to develop or something like that. People are saying, okay, so that took us 3 weeks. The next one should take us a couple of weeks to be able to go build. That has been phenomenal to watch. So back to this whole speed to market. That's been a pretty good use of our time. So with SnapLogic in place, we've automated and put into production more than 100 pipelines over the last few years. And that's in production, right? That doesn't count a lot of things we built for test or somebody asks for an extract file and we build it and give it to them. We also have about 22 SaaS solutions in our environment. Everything, as I pointed out, from Workday to Okta to ServiceNow to Salesforce to Microsoft CRM. So it's been a good experience trying to put these in, and I'm really looking forward to some of the future use cases that we've got because these are 4 ones that are very important, and they've helped us in the last 3 to 4 years. But I'm really even more excited to see what's coming in the next couple of years.